dichotomies to our list that we're seeing in terms of like themes that this play is bringing up. I think something with the fool, maybe.
I don't know quite how to say it, but it's like your age versus like where you are in the relationship. So like mother versus child, but also like older versus like younger person.
So almost like maybe like an authority figure versus a subordinate.
Yeah.
In terms of like age, but we could also just put elder versus younger too, because we have parent versus child here, so we can add to that. There's something about foolishness and wiseness I want to put up here. Yeah, Sam?
I think that with respect to the fool, it could be something like the benefits of not being very high in social hierarchy.
Yeah.
You get away with a lot more because nobody really pays attention to what you're saying or takes it seriously, but you're still able to say it.
There's a kind of power versus opportunity here. Lear is kind of limited by his position of authority and his power, whereas the fool is not. At least that's the way that the fool sees it. Yeah. Let's see. And then there's one more I want to put up here. I want to put up this idea from earlier about nature determining your worth or society determining your worth. The whole speech that Edmund has. Those are the dichotomies we're going to start with. Okay, so I want to pause and do like an activity before we get into the fool. Maybe we won't quite get into the fool today, but we will next time if we don't, because the fool continues to be a main character throughout this. A lot of times in Shakespeare, the fool is like a really small little comic relief character. In this one, the fool is a legitimate character who drives the plot along, and it's probably the smartest person in the play. But before we get to that, here's what I want us to do. This is kind of hard to explain. I want you to choose 4 of these dichotomies. 4 of these dichotomies that you are most interested in. And then you are going to write, choose 4 dichotomies. You are going to write a central question. Do you remember these, a guiding question or a central question about your dichotomy? So, for example, parent versus child might be something like, does a child owe a parent more respect than the parent owes the child? Does that make sense? So it's just kind of like this general, remember we did this with Crime and Punishment, it's this general kind of question that's going to get at a theme. Then you are going to assign a character to each central question. They need to be 4 different characters. So with that one, I might say I'm going to assign Edmund to that central question because it seems like he's concerned with that question. Then you are going to answer the central question from that character's point of view. So if I'm Edmund, I'm going to say, actually, I think that that they are seen more as equals, that Edmund doesn't see anything about old age being deserving of respect. He sees maybe intelligence as the thing that is deserving of respect, and if the younger is more intelligent, then they deserve the most respect. Right, so I'm kind of trying to do it from their perspective. And then when we're done with this, we'll talk about how we can tell already that the play is aligning with one point of view or the other. But for now, you're just going to answer it from a character's point of view. You can use any character that has appeared so far, Kent, Lear, Cordelia, whatever. And you just want to choose one that you think, would have a perspective on this certain dichotomy. Yes, Judy?
Are we writing 4 central questions?
Yes, so 1 for each dichotomy. Yeah, and then 4 characters and then 4 answers. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna have you, I want you to do this together. I think I'm going to have Emberly and Brooklyn work together, Kylie, Sam, and Jaden work together, and then Allie, Rose, and Angelina work together. Okay, cool. You only need 1 paper for this. You could, we could do it on a Google Doc. Which would you rather do, handwrite or computer?
We'll use handwrite.
Let's just handwrite it then. Just do it on a piece of paper, but you only need 1 paper per partner or trio. Okay, cool. Then give it a shot.